Okay, we do have the attendees coming in and we are live now. Okay, we are live and broadcasting.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Islip October Town Board meeting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Mullen, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Well, it's hard to believe it's already the third week in October. Yesterday, town officials broke ground in preparation for the long-awaited expanded parking area at the Caesars Trunzo Senior Center in Brentwood. Over the next few weeks, more than 120 spaces will be added, along with new drainage, curbing, and lighting. The Trunzo Senior Center is one of our most active centers, and this long-awaited and much-needed project is finally underway, and appreciate the town board's support on this. We want to thank our seniors for their patience and look forward to having you back when it's safe to reopen our centers and welcome you. Speaking of seniors, I want to remind everyone that our popular outdoor Get Fit with Nick fitness classes have kicked into high gear. They're very, very popular and are offered at the various senior centers throughout the town. Reservations are mandatory. Masks must be worn as these classes are COVID compliant and space is limited. Due to the overwhelming popularity of our free drive-in movie nights, we're bringing back 2 holiday-themed movies to Brookwood Hall and East Islip. On Friday the 23rd, we'll be showing Goosebumps in preparation for Halloween. Gates open at 5:30 and the movie begins at 7. Food trucks will be on hand. And Friday, December 4th, kicking off the holiday season, the town will present Elf, and there will be hot chocolate. I do hope that everyone is staying vigilant, wearing face coverings, practicing social distancing, and washing your hands. I'm sure by now that everyone has heard the term COVID fatigue. And the recent news that COVID cases are spiking across the country and around the world is a little distressing, to say the least. Health officials are warning that the next 6 to 8 weeks are critical. So we're urging everyone, if you haven't already done so, please get your flu shot and observe the 4 W's. Wash your hands, watch your distance, 6 feet apart, wear a mask, and open windows and ventilate as much as possible. Before we officially begin with the agenda, I want to, anyone wishing to address the board concerning any of our scheduled public hearings or any of the Board of Cleanups should have already filled out the online registration form. If not, please either use the raise hand function on Zoom or type into the question and answer line stating which particular hearing you wish to speak on. We will begin this afternoon with our scheduled public hearings for the board's consideration. I ask Town Clerk Olga Murray to please read the first hearing notice.
Thank you. Today's first hearing is to consider amending the Town of Islip Uniform Traffic Code in several different fashions.
Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and accept the traffic changes.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Madam Clerk, if you would please read the second hearing notice.
Thank you. The second hearing is to enact local law number 3 of 2020, amending chapter 12, known as animals.
Again, are there any questions from the board? Hearing none,
No.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and accept the changes on the animals. Chapter
Second.
12.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Now we will move on to the regular business to come before the town board. And the first item on the agenda today is the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. I will now call for a motion for this board to convene. Motion by
Make a motion.
Councilman Cochran, second by Councilman O'Connor. The Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency Board is convened, a quorum being present. And I would call upon John Walzer to lead us through the agenda.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Agency Board, John Walzer, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip, New York. I have several items for your consideration today, the first of which is to approve the minutes from the meeting of the board on September 15th, 2020.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor,
Second.
by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
The next item for your consideration is an inducement resolution between the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency and EB at Vets Highway LLC. This project involves the purchase of a 20,000 square foot commercial office building at 3355 Vets Highway, Ronkonko, for the relocation and expansion of the property management division of the Engel-Berman Group. Engel-Berman develops and manages Bristol assisted living facilities on Long Island and in the New York metropolitan area, including New Jersey. And they're a growing company. This project represents capital investment of over $4 million and the retention of 45 good paying jobs.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, who raised his hand. Second, Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
The next project for your consideration is another inducement resolution between the agency and TREC Bayshore LLC, located at 1700 Union Boulevard in Bayshore. This is a mixed-use, mixed-income, transit-oriented development project that will continue the revitalization of our largest downtown. This project promises to bring substantial positive economic impact, both short-term and long-term, in the town on a property that is destined to be vacant and has never produced any property tax revenue.
Are there any questions on this?
I just want to make sure, Madam Supervisor, that we are offering to TriTech the same package that we have traditionally offered to everybody else in accordance with our town code.
So we are considering the financial incentives we are considering are consistent with the uniform tax exemption policy in terms of mortgage recording tax and sales tax exemptions. The property tax abatement we are considering would be a deviation from our standard project, the details of which have not been completely ironed out. That will be done before the public hearing and a final authorizing resolution.
Okay, well then I'm going to abstain until we get to that point. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Do we have a motion? I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed?
Recuse.
Staying.
Okay, we have one recusal, one abstention, and 3 in favor. It is approved. John, if you would go forward.
Okay. The next item for your consideration is an authorizing resolution for a project we induced last month between the agency and Whitson Food Service at 3300 Vets Highway, Bohemia.
Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second
Second.
by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
The next item for your consideration is a resolution authorizing the second round of awards for grant funds for various businesses under the COVID-19 grant and loan program.
Any questions? John, thank everyone on the committee for their participation. I know that this program has been very well received and much appreciated. We have a motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Okay, the next item for your consideration is the adoption of the Industrial Development Agency budget for 2021.
Any questions on the budget?
No. I'll make that motion to approve.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
And the last item I have is an authorization to amend the 2021 operating budget of the agency to account for the COVID-19 grant and loan program.
I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
So I have,
There is no other business to come before us. I'll entertain a motion to,
Motion to adjourn.
motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? The Industrial Development Agency Board is adjourned, and we will now move on to the Town of Islip Economic Development Corporation. A motion to convene that meeting of the corporation.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second
Second.
by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor or opposed, the corporation board is convened, a quorum being present. John, if you will.
good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the Corporation Board. John Walzer, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip, New York. I only have 2 items for your consideration today. The first is to approve the minutes from the meeting of the members of the corporation on September 15th, 2020.
Any
Motion.
questions?
Make the
Motion
motion.
by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
The next item for your consideration is a resolution approving the 2021 Economic Development Corporation budget.
Are there any questions on the budget? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second.
Second.
By Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
It's approved. Thank you very much. Motion to adjourn the Economic
Motion.
Corporation by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. The meeting of the Economic Development Corporation is adjourned. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
We'll move now to the Board Up and Cleanup resolutions. Taryn, if you will.
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the Town Board, Town Clerk, Taryn Jewell, Assistant Town Attorney, 655 Main Street, Islip, New York. Number 1 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 2 has also been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 3, to clean up the premises located at 20 North Research Place, Central Islip. On this property, there now exists litter and debris consisting of commercial kitchen equipment, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any speakers on this one?
No.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. All right, so any questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 4, to board and clean up the premises located at 22 Sycamore Street, Central Islip. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris. which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
Motion.
Any speakers?
No speakers.
Okay, motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 5 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 6, to board and clean up the premises located at 44 Bay Avenue, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists an unsecured basement window, high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any speakers?
No, ma'am.
Any questions?
Nope.
Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 7, to clean up the premises located at 94 Carlton Avenue, Islip Terrace. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation with litter and debris, and an unregistered trailer, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Any questions?
We do
Motion.
have one speaker on this. Mr. Wong, I'm about to promote you to have speaking privileges. Okay. He is now able to speak and address the board.
Okay, Mr. Wong, we are listening. You have
Hi.
minutes. Go right ahead.
Hi, how are you? I'd just like to say I apologize for my tenant, but we have resolved the solution. We resolved the issue about a week and a half ago. I have also processed an eviction notice on the 30th of September with my lawyer. Yeah, I have a picture if I can share. I'm not sure if I have the sharing privilege to share a picture on this of the property.
Caitlin,
does-
you
He
allowed
does
to share?
not have, I would have to promote him to panelist, but if he wants to email it, we could do it that way.
Okay. Sure. Where would you like me to email this? I can do it right now.
Taryn, would it be easier for him to email it to your inbox?
That's fine. You can email it to T as in Thomas, JEW.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Yes, and Thomas.
JEWELL
Mm-hmm.
at islipny.gov.
Karen, when was the last time the fire marshal was at the property?
Looks like yesterday. So I'm just double checking that. So this is for 94 Carlton,
That is
correct?
correct.
Not 96 Carlton?
That is correct.
Okay. So 96 was withdrawn, but 94 is still on. And my pictures still have some litter and debris, it looks like in the back.
Taryn, is 94 and 96 owned by the same person, or are we just discussing 96 right now?
We're just assessing 94 right now. I don't know if it's the same owner, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
6 has been withdrawn, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we just have 94 before us. I guess we could pass this and give Mr. Wong an opportunity to contact your office, send the pictures, and
I just sent it. It just went out. Maybe
good.
give it like 30 seconds, I think.
okay.
So what we can do is we can adopt the resolution, but stay the execution for 2 weeks. But just so Mr. Wong knows, once those 2 weeks are up and if the conditions still exist, our company or the DPW will go out there and clean.
Mr. Wong, did you hear that?
Yes. No, it's definite. It's taken care of. Like
Okay,
we
fine.
removed the trailer. Yeah. I mean,
Right, that's
Okay.
fine. So
Yeah.
motion by Trish Bergen.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second.
Second.
By Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Approved.
Just to be clear, that's going to be stayed for 2 weeks, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, number 8 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 9, to board and clean up the premises located at 145 North Connecticut Avenue, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any speakers?
Not on this item.
Okay, any
Motion.
questions? Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
We have 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Number 10,
Number 10, to clean up the premises located at 178 Hilton Street, Brentwood. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
any questions? Hearing none, motion? Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 11 has been withdrawn as it is now in compliance. Number 12, to clean up the premises located at 281 East Main Street, East Islip. On this property, there now exists high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
We have 2 speakers on this property. I will promote them one by one. First is going to be Miss Perino.
As soon as I heard you were with Brian's group that moved over there.
Ms. Marino, you have 3 minutes to address us, and we're discussing 178 Hilton Street, Brentwood.
The electric.
281 East Main Street. Supervisor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're talking about 281 East Main Street.
East Islip, yes.
Aside from the things that you mentioned, there are 2 deep excavations on that same property, and they were originally starting to build. So where the foundation would be, there's like 12 feet deep, and it's a huge area. There are also really big trees down. The house that was adjacent to the property that they bought that faced Laurel Avenue, they took the house down, but again, when the foundation was removed, there was a huge hole again that was never filled in. The property is dangerous. Teenagers stay in there. They throw bottles out. There are rats. I mean, this is more than just cleaning up debris. And I live in Bell Laurel. People in Bell Laurel, when they go by, go with bags and clean up the mess. The fence is falling down around the area. The last time you people complained about it, which was a couple of years ago, they put up a fence that was, I don't even know how to say it. It had no structure to it. It was just metal, but not attached to anything. And on it, they put yellow caution tape, which would look like it was temporary for people to come into. I had also called up because they used it as a dumping ground for the longest time. I call them Liper. I don't know what their name is anymore. They were just putting tar down there whenever they were doing work. The area is a disgrace. It's more than what you're saying, and just cleaning it up without fixing the excavation is still going to be dangerous, and having that fence removed and replaced would be really helpful.
We appreciate you coming forward today. It's not just a matter of cleaning up. The structures will be made safe and secure, but we do thank you. I understand there's another speaker.
Yes, Miss Susan DeStefano. I am going to give her talking rights, and as soon as she unmutes, she has the right to address the board.
Okay. Susan, you're up. You have 3 minutes.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. I would just like to reiterate what was said before. In addition to being an eyesore, the area is unsecured, it's not safe, and it does attract teenagers that appear to be hanging out there, you know, bottles, empty bottles, And the weeds, the grass, everything is probably 5 feet tall at this point. The fence is falling down. It's just, it's a bad appearance in addition to the safety factor. So if there was ever a question, I just want to speak for residents of the area and just reiterate the fact that it definitely should be boarded up, cleaned up, secured, all of that.
Well, thank you very much. And certainly that is the plan. And being right there on Main Street, you know, it definitely warrants being done and done quickly.
Thank you.
Are there any other speakers?
Not on this agenda item.
Thank you, Caitlin. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion by Councilman O'Connor, a second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Number 13, to board and clean up the premises located at 1112 Oak Neck Road, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured garage, an unsecured shed, with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter and debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
We did have one person sign up to speak, but I do not see them in the panelist list unless they are the phone call that, the phone number that's joined in. So I'm going to,
The name, Caitlin?
it is, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce it, Raspreet Bahati. Yeah. Taryn, they are from the company I believe you spoke with.
So I
on this
believe it's an
issue.
attorney for the servicing company,
Yes.
but they were told to call into the meeting or Zoom in to ask for time. So I don't know if they're not here.
We do have a dial-in, but it's, you know, they're not named, so we can.
So why don't we just promote the dial-in number and ask if that's the
Yeah.
gentleman who signed up to speak?
You got it. I'm going to do that now.
Hi, how are you? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can. If you would please.
Hi, sorry, I was having an
Correct,
issue with Raspreet Bhatia. I am actually the firm from Greenspoon Mortar. We represent the first lien holder on the subject property 1112 Oak Neck Road. I was just calling in. My office received the notification that your office sent out. We're actually waiting for this property to be sold. We do have notations that individuals were living there, but we weren't able to confirm if it was the actual borrowers for our loan, which is Kevin and Lori, I believe are their names. So at this point, I think I just wanted to find out exactly how we can cure the defects, and then we'll be able to proceed to the foreclosure sale whenever we're permitted to.
Karen?
I mean, if you can send out a servicing company to correct the violations, but this has been going on now for 3 months. So it's really up to the board whether or not you want to give time for them to cure the violations now.
So why don't we follow suit and approve this and give them a 1
I
week?
have some questions, Supervisor.
Certainly, Councilwoman.
So Taryn, I'm looking at the pictures and I don't see unsecured doors or windows in these pictures.
Okay.
Am I missing something?
Give me 1 moment, please. So if it's vacant, then the property needs to be boarded to HUD standards. So I believe that's what the fire marshals are referring to. And it looks like
But it
that
needs to-
garage is open.
If it's unsecured, then we need to board it. But if it's vacant but it's secured, then we don't have to board it.
Okay, I mean, it's up to you guys. It looks like the garage door is unsecured. It looks like it's open, but I'm not at the property, so unfortunately, I don't know from the one picture. I agree with you. The windows and the front doors do look secured.
And the garage looks secured to me. I don't see any broken windows. I don't see what we typically see.
It looks
But
like
this-
it's open. I don't know if anyone else.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
We
The
don't have,
bottom part is open.
We don't have current pictures of the backyard. But the fire marshal was out there yesterday, Taryn?
Yes, on the 19th.
And found what?
They didn't remove it as in compliance, so I have 5 properties that they did remove. So usually if it's corrected, they would remove it.
Is there any way that my office or whoever I emailed with, I believe that might be Taryn, if I could get the picture so I can forward it over to the first lien lender? Usually when our properties are in foreclosure, we go and we actually secure it and board it up because that's it's one of our responsibilities. I only just received notice of this, so I can certainly try to see what the lender can do and how fast they can do it. And I guess if that's something the board will not accept at this time, if I can just get a little information on what the next steps would be, just because we haven't really worked with the town of Islip for something like this.
So I can send over anything. I just know that it usually takes more than 2 weeks, but it's up to the board how much time you want to give. I just know that they have to send out bids and then get the bids accepted. So it's really up to you guys.
Darren, I just have a problem not seeing a picture of an access point where people are getting in and out of. And if it's just to board up a house that people are living in, nobody wants to live next to a board up house. But if there's actual access that I can see where somebody's getting in and out of, then I would say, sure, board it up. But I don't see that here. And I just don't feel this is justified. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, we have the fire marshals out there. They said in Taryn's description that it was unsecured. As the town attorney noted, we don't have pictures of the rear. Obviously, it might have to be confirmed. So why don't we do what we did earlier and approve this and give them a 2-week stay so they have time to confirm that it indeed needs to be secured.
Well, Supervisor, even the last one, number 281 East Main Street, I mean, I was hard pressed to say yes or not. It's a wooded lot, but I just want to make sure we're not getting too overzealous in this process. That's all.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Are there any other comments? Councilwoman Mullen?
No, Supervisor, I was just going to agree with you, and perhaps within the time, we could get some pictures of the back.
Okay, that sounds good.
Right.
All right, so we have a motion to pass this, give them a 2-week stay, get more pictures. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman O'Connor.
Prior to my vote, I just want to make a comment that I have a hard time voting on something to say board it up if I don't see a reason in my documents that says it needs to be boarded up. And I don't have a picture for that.
Okay,
Sorry, my answer
and
is
we can
no.
appreciate that, and we're taking your comments into consideration, and we're doing a 2-week stay, and we're getting pictures of the rear. So we have a motion and a second. I will call the vote. All those in favor?
No.
Okay, so we have 4 in favor, 1 opposed. The
Thank you.
resolution passes. Thank you. Next, Sharon.
Number 14, to board and clean up the premises located at 1610 Manatuck Boulevard, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, an unsecured garage, an unsecured shed with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and litter debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises. And I believe there's a speaker on this.
There is Miss Brown. I am going to promote her to have speaking rights right now. And Miss Brown, as soon as you unmute, you are able to address the board.
Yes, I am here. Hello?
Hello. Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Yes. Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adrian Brown, and I've been paying taxes on this property since June 8th, 2020. I've been also maintaining. I just replaced the whole, pardon me, the whole heating system. I just replaced a few things. I have receipts. I tried dropping them off yesterday, but they told me to sit in the meeting virtually.
Yeah, nothing there either.
And I also showed these documents to Fire Marshal John Lombardo, I believe his name is.
Yes.
This gentleman also have a block on the water through the water company. Now I have everything else licensed, supervised, and approved, and I can't get the water turned on to make sure my boiler is working because Miss Lobardo has contract with the water company not to turn the water on. I showed him all necessary documents, and I would like some kind of justice here.
Taryn?
So I have as the owner Wells Fargo Bank. So did you just recently become the owner, Ms. Brown?
Again, I've been paying the property tax since June 8th, 2020.
Okay, so does that mean you bought the home at that date?
Nah, just the property. But 9/10 of the law, that property is on that house is on my property. But if Wells Fargo and anybody else want it, by all means, jack up the house and take it up off my property. But other than that, the property does reside in my name.
Okay, that's not what our land details provide. So, I mean, I just have to go by what our system is saying. And as for by the fire marshal telling the water company, I don't believe they have that authority to tell them not to.
The lady name is Catherine at the water company, and she specifically told me that the fire marshal told them not to allow the water to come on. I've also sent her, she's from Suffolk County Water Authority. I also sent her my proper documents, and she saw that. But for some strange reason, everyone's concerned with the fact that Wells Fargo's the homeowner. They forfeited on it, and that's not a concern for me. I guess that's your concern. I've been paying the property taxes. And again, I got everything under licensed plumbers, licensed electrician, even the gas, and it all had to be investigated, supervised through PSEG, National Grid, and I don't see why I can't get water or why I'm having such a hard time with the marshal when I show him all of my documentations. And I understand what your records show, but I was told because the taxes are in arrears, I couldn't pay Alexis Weeks, which is located in Islip. I have to pay the patroller in Riverhead. So I've been doing this, and I've been getting no respect in regards to my documents or anything regarding this property. So I came into this meeting hoping something can be done because I am the true property owner, because I'm the only one paying. And the fact that Wells Fargo and the previous person who contracted with Wells Fargo walked away from their responsibility, that again is not no fault of mine. I've been paying for this property. I've been maintaining this property. Therefore, it should not be boarded up. Therefore, it should be something investigated, done in this matter.
Ma'am, are you living at the property right now?
Yes, ma'am, I have since June 8th, 2020.
Okay. So Supervisor, it's really up to what you as the board want to do.
I would like to table this till the next meeting so that we have an opportunity to check the title and the true ownership.
What about how somebody's living in?
Karen, we did do a title report, right?
We did, and it says Wells Fargo. That's what I mean. If she has a deed that she can provide us with, she's just saying that she's saying, I don't know, you know what I mean? So
I never read the deed. I don't have
anywhere in the chain of title, Taryn.
I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry.
Go that way.
Okay, we'll work until the next meeting to try to get an updated chain of title and perhaps reach out to Ms. Brown and she can provide us with a deed showing us that she is the true owner.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll have a motion to table this in the next meeting. Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Particular item has been tabled. Next resolution, Taryn. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Number 15, to board up the premises located at 1735 Heckscher Avenue, Bayshore. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Are there any questions? Any speakers?
No speakers on this item.
Okay. Any questions on this? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
And finally, number 16, to board and clean up the premises located at 2367 Ocean Avenue, Ronkonko. On this vacant and unsecured property, there now exists unsecured windows and doors with high grass, overgrown vegetation, and littering debris, which constitutes a nuisance and presents a fire, safety, and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
We do have one speaker, Samuel Reichel. I'm going to give them speaking rights, ask them to unmute, and they are now able to address the board on this property.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Samuel Reichel. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Frankel, Lambert, Weiss, Weissman, and Gordon in Bayshore. Our client is the mortgage holder of the particular property in question. Speaking to our client, they indicated their preservation company was supposed to go to the property on Sunday. I followed up with them today via phone call to find out whether there was an update. They did not get back to me. I did speak to somebody at the town when I called earlier to find out how to register for this thing, and they indicated to me that apparently per pictures yesterday.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's the one before that.
Excuse me, could you mute if you're not speaking, please? Go ahead, Mr. Reichel.
Sorry. And again, the person I spoke to from the town indicated that according to the photographs yesterday, it does not look like the repairs were done to the particular property in question. I would just ask if the bank could have a little time so I can communicate with them, find out what their exact intentions are, whether they plan on fixing it up or not. And if they do, then give them time to do the requisite repairs on the property. As I said, they're not the owners of the property, but they are the mortgagee on the property.
Are there any questions or comments? So perhaps, Taryn, how do you feel about it? But it seems that perhaps we could give them 2 weeks stay, but approve the resolution.
That's fine.
Okay?
Yep.
I'll make that motion. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? The resolution is passed. And I believe that's it, Taryn.
That is, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. We will move now to item 4, meeting of the Town of Islip Resource Recovery Agency. Do I have a motion to convene? Councilman Cochran makes that motion, second by Councilman O'Connor. A quorum being present. Marty, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the agency board, Martin Ballou, President of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency, 401 Main Street, Islip, New York. I have a few items for consideration today. The first of which is the approval of the board minutes for the September 15th, 2020 agency board meeting.
We have a motion for approval of the minutes.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Mullen, second
Second.
by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Minutes are approved.
The second item is a resolution authorizing the president to enter into an agreement between the agency and the Hauppauge Union Free School District for the school year 2020 to 2021 to provide for collection and processing by the agency and/or town of certain recyclable materials generated at the facilities of the school district to reduce the amount of solid waste destined for disposal by the school district.
Any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
And the final resolution authorizing the adoption of the recommended budget of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency for fiscal year 2021.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullins, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
And that concludes the business of today.
Okay, and a motion to adjourn the meeting of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency by
Move
Councilman
to adjourn.
Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? The meeting is adjourned. We will move on then to item 5 on the agenda, authorization for the supervisor renewal license agreement with Steve Macchio for one parcel of town-owned bay bottom land for the purpose of shellfish cultivation. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Recuse.
We have 4 in favor, 1 recusal. The motion is approved. Next, item 6, the bid awards. Are there any questions?
Motion to approve.
Hearing none, we have a motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by
Second.
Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Next are the option year resolutions, item 7. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 8, the appropriation transfers. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next is an authorization for the tax receiver to deposit and secure all monies received by the office for the 2021 tax year in various bank accounts. Are there any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next is the authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with JP Morgan Chase Bank for the payment of the courier services provided by Rapid Armor to the tax receiver. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilwoman Bergen, second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 11 is a board approval to extend the deadline for senior citizens for the payment of real property taxes on their principal residence without interest or penalty to on or before June 8th, 2021, provided that they have received an enhanced star exemption. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cochran. All those in
Sorry,
favor?
I'm sorry. Did we say June 7th? Because that's what
Yeah.
my paperwork says, June 7th.
That's what mine says as well.
Okay, I have 2 different, let me just take a look
It's
at that.
June 8th. It was updated, but it's June 8th.
It is June 8th. Okay,
So then tell me what the real date is so I can tell my seniors.
okay, it's June 8th. I'm
June
just
8th.
looking at the backup on the resolution. It is June 8th.
Thank you. June 8th. I make that motion to approve.
I made the motion, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next is an approval permitting the Youth Bureau Department to host drop-off sites throughout the town to collect pass-through donations for the Youth Bureau Holiday Toy Drive. Are there any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Mullen.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 13, authorization to enter into an agreement with the Islip Arts Council to oversee and operate the Islip Arts Museum. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion? I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next item is a board approval for rates for the rental of machinery or equipment for snow and ice removal for the 2021 season. Here's hoping we don't need it, but we'll be ready in case. Do we have a
Motion.
motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 15 is an authorization for the supervisor to enter into an agreement with Best Climate Control Corporation, DPW 6-2018, air conditioning preventive maintenance service contract for the first one-year extension from December 31, 2020 to December 31st, 2021. Any questions? Motion?
Make that
by
motion, Supervisor.
second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 16, authorization for the supervisor to renew the professional services agreement with Application Software, Inc., DBA ASI Flex, for administration of health flexible spending arrangements for town employees for the second one-year extension period. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor,
Second.
second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 17, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider adopting local law number 4 that would authorize the town Islip budget officer to prepare and submit to the town board a balanced tentative budget that would require a levy in excess of the limit set forth in general municipal law. Any questions?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second
Second.
by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 18 is an authorization for the supervisor to apply for and accept funding from the New York State Department of Homeland Security for the elevation of one building located within the town of Islip. Are there any questions? Hearing none, motion
Motion.
by Councilman Cochran, second.
I'm going to reserve on this.
There's motion by
I'll
Councilman
second.
Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen, and a abstention or recusal. What is that, Councilwoman?
I just don't have enough information, so whichever one that is.
Well,
I need
guess
to look into this more.
that would be abstained. So we have 4 in favor,
Thank
1 abstention. The resolution is approved.
I just got this.
Uh,
Thank you.
Item 19 is the appointment of Glenn Carballo to the Town of Islip Ethics Board. Any questions? I'll make a motion and a second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Next item is an authorization for the supervisor to enter into a lease agreement with Golden Flashes Real Estate LLC for the use of a public parking facility in Sayville for a term of 2 years. Are there any questions?
I do have a question. Is this the same parking lot that's connected to Cornucopia that we had some issues with regards to prior business dealings?
No, this is not that property.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
No.
Motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second by Councilwoman Mullen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 21 is an authorization for the supervisor to execute any and all documents required to implement the modification amendment to the 2024 Consolidated Strategy and Plan Submission for Housing and Community Development Programs, the 2021 First Annual Action Plan. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Bergen, second by Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
It is approved. Item 22, authorization for the supervisor to execute a first renewal to the airline use and lease agreement with Frontier Airlines for airline services at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
I'll second.
by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next item is an authorization for the supervisor to declare town-owned property located at Denver Avenue in Bay Shore as surplus land and execute an agreement of sale and transfer title to Suffolk Transportation Services. Any questions? Hearing none, motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cochran, second
Second.
by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. We will move then to item 24, authorization for the supervisor to execute temporary easements submitted by various property owners residing on Shore Drive in Oakdale in connection with the reconstruction and raising of road improvement project. Any questions? Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second.
I have to recuse myself on this, folks.
Second by Councilman O'Connor. We have 4 in favor, 1 recusal. The motion is approved. Item 26 is an authorization for the supervisor to execute any and all documents required.
Sorry, did we skip 2025? I'm sorry, did we miss one?
Oh, I am so sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 25. That was 24 that was approved. Next is an authorization for the supervisor to execute a capital project agreement with the New York State DOT to receive multimodal number 4 program funding for Browns River dredging and bulkheading in Browns River to prevent boating accidents and flood damage. Are there any questions? Motion?
I'll make that motion, Supervisor.
Motion by Councilwoman Mullen, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Next, item 26 is the authorization for the supervisor to execute any and all documents required to apply for and accept grant funding from Suffolk County's Jumpstart Program for improvements to be made in connection with the Bayshore Bayway Corridor Project. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Cochran, second.
Second.
By Councilman O'Connor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Item 27,
631.
authorization for the town clerk to advertise for public hearing
241.
to consider enacting local law number 5 of 2020, amending Islip Local Town Chapter 21 entitled Solid Waste. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Cochran. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. That takes us to item 28, authorization for the supervisor to participate in the FEMA DR 4567 New York Public Assistance Program and accept reimbursement funding for Town of Islip expenses deemed eligible in accordance with Section 502 of the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Motion?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman Mullen. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 29, authorization for the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider adopting a local law that would authorize the Town of Islip budget officer to prepare and submit to the town board a balanced tentative budget.
We did this one already.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's in here as
That's
29.
it.
So great, once is enough.
Move we adjourn.
That will take us then, do we have, no, okay. I had 2 duplicate resolutions that have already been addressed. Are there any other comments or issues to come before us? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
Yes, no, I have an additional comment to make. Madam Supervisor, thank you so much. So item number 3.15, 1735 Heckscher Avenue, Bayshore.
Councilwoman, could you please adjust your screen because you're sideways?
Well, because I'm working from my desk. So here I am. Okay.
I think she wants you to move your phone the other way.
Oh,
No.
go this way, like that.
That's it, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so my microphone, I was for some reason not working or on, or it was blocked, or I'm not really quite sure, but you didn't hear me. But for that particular item, which was a board up cleanup of 1735 Heckscher Avenue in Bayshore, I was a no vote on that board up. Okay, I just want to make that clear for the record. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, did you get that? Do you want to repeat that address, please, Councilwoman, so the clerk can make sure she records it properly?
Yes, it's address 1735 Heckscher Avenue, Bayshore. I was a no vote on that board up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Town Clerk, do you have that? Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything
Thank you.
else?
No, that's it.
A motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilwoman Bergen. All those in favor? Opposed?